Grab your popcorn and get ready, because today you're about to be mind blown with Skibidi Toilet secrets, Easter eggs, mysteries, and more, with the ending showcasing a very big secret that many of you guys don't know about. We've got to watch the episode in its entirety, and as you can see, it starts off with explosions, Skibidi Toilets eating cameramen, and clearly in this video right now, the toilets are winning. Like, they're destroying cameramen, and it's not until the Speaker Titan comes and literally takes out all of the Skibidi Toilets on the streets. From large to small to even brand new Skibidi Toilets, you can see the upgraded Speakerman is very upset, and he's going all out to make sure he gets his revenge, until he realizes he is now surrounded by helicopter Skibidi Toilets. And well, they all land their missiles right on them. But guess what, guys? It's not enough! The Speaker Titan does a helicopter attack back at the helicopters and destroys all of them. Flies away. The camera Titan arrives like, what the heck just happened? And then he goes right after the Speakerman as well. And then we see these three goofballs, and well, the episode ends with good thumbs up. To understand everything that just happened in this episode, we're gonna have to break it down and analyze it. So episode 58 starts off with, of course, 3 terrified and scared cameramen trying their best to get away from a large Skibidi Toilet who's trying to eat them. Now, as you can currently see, there is nothing on the rooftops behind these cameramen. Remember this, because it's gonna be very important later in the episode. Additionally, if you look at the side of the building, you can see it says London Mall, meaning that this episode was filmed on a London map. Then out of nowhere, a giant explosion goes off, and we see a cameraman being dragged away by another large Skibidi. With cameramen running away from the scene and multiple not alive Speakermen, one thing you might have missed in this episode is that this is actually the first time that we've seen this small Speakerman on the battlefield since episode 50, when the Skibidi Toilets attacked the cameraman warehouse. And since this very moment, we haven't seen the Speakerman on the battlefield at all. Speaking of things we haven't seen in a long time, we have a brand new Skibidi Toilet, and this guy is crazy looking. There was 2 previous episodes that this Saw Skibidi could have came from. First, episode 47, where we came in contact with the Saw Skibidi that really damaged the Cinema Man. Now, as you can see from this episode, this Saw is a little bit different, but it's sort of similar. You can see his arms are very, very big and strong, and he looks very different from the current version that we have in episode 58. But then, in episode 49 of Skibidi Toilet, we also had something that was pretty close as well. Could this be a brand new, upgraded toilet that the TV woman destroyed in episode 49? Is this why this one is wearing new protective glasses? Because TV Woman destroyed the other version of it? He's also got the biggest jetpack we've ever seen on a toilet, and it looks like a cameraman Christmas tree with how many bodies he's holding. As the episode continues, you can see his face turn from a very happy smile to an incredibly scared toilet as he hears the Speaker Titan arrive. The Speaker Titan then destroys 2 large Skibidi Toilets and even a helicopter rocket toilet. But notice that this is the Big Ben clock tower, and on top of the tower is a Skibidi defense turret. We've seen these types of turrets before from the cameraman base in episode 50. Does this turret mean we're getting closer to the Skibidi headquarters? As you can see, the Speaker Titan quickly destroys this turret and goes for a tackle on the big Skibidi Toilet that's entering into the fight. This is the same tackle that was used against the Speaker Titan in episode 57 by the camera Titan when he was infected. It's super cool to me to see the Speaker Titan using some brand new moves. But the big question here is, did you see it? Well, if you didn't see it, it's okay, because the Boom, also known as Blu-ray, added a secret that a lot of people missed. Earlier in the video, I told you to remember the rooftop of the intro, and as you can see right now, it is empty. Now, after the explosion, you can see the secret agent. This secret agent is the same secret agent that we saw in episode 57 part 1. He had the same exact green light behind him. Now, we've seen this secret agent in countless episodes throughout this series so far. We first saw him in episode 45 inside the shack, then in episode 46 hiding behind a tree, then in the end of episode 47 after a massive battle he sort of helps us, I think. And we also find him in episode 48 when we shoot our laser beam and he's hiding inside of the window. And even in episode 52, he's watching us from a rooftop. And then in episode 55, he was watching us right when we lost our tank. But what's even crazier is in episode 56, he is right in front of all the cameramen and the TV men, and no one sees him. Only we can see the secret agent. But why? That is a mystery I hope we get answers for soon. And speaking of new, I want to show you guys a side-by-side comparison of the Speakerman from episode 26 all the way to now in episode 58. You can clearly see when he was infected by the Skibidi toilets, he got some major upgrades. He has upgraded speakers, new arm blasters, and even reinforced legs that allow him to move much faster than before. Now, because he is so much faster than before, he also has faster reflexes, because right when the double saw Skibidi tried surprising him with an attack from behind, he was very quick to make sure no Skibidi can get close to him, and he instantly deleted the enemy. Now, once that happened, I quickly realized that it was just a surprise attack. And this was the first time that we've really seen the Speaker Titan use his brand new jetpack and all his upgrades with a helicopter spin blast, which after he takes out all the helicopter Skibidis and he flies off, and we see the camera Titan appear. Now remember, the Speaker Titan is a lot faster than the camera Titan, so it makes sense that the camera Titan is a little bit late to the party. He's also insanely confused at what just happened in London, that he takes off after the Speaker Titan to get some answers. The episode ends with the 3 cameramen you saw in the beginning giving the thumbs up, meaning that the cameramen have won this episode and the Skibidi toilets have lost. But do you also notice that the secret agent is gone? He actually walked away as the Speaker Titan flew away, and his green glow was also gone. Now, this is the first time we've ever seen the secret agent walk away from an episode and not disappear or teleport away, which is pretty exciting for me. So we start with an explosive intro. We have a Skibidi toilet about to eat a cameraman, and another explosion with a brand new Skibidi toilet that looks really powerful. His power level has to be really high, but as you guys know, it's not high enough to stop the brand new Titans. All the upgrades they've gotten stand no chance against the Skibidi toilets. And there you go. All the upgrades the Titans have. He even feeds him his own weapons and kicks him away. And then Speaker Titan's flying one. Okay, that is an epic shot. Of course, we get the thumbs up that we all love to see. And then something happens behind us that we have to look at, and it's the return of the Speakerman. We even have a Speakerman up top dancing, the Speaker helicopters flying in, Speakermen literally everywhere, and of course, the Speaker Striders. It's literally a beautiful episode, and of course, the epic handshake of the 2 allies uniting once again. The episode begins with, of course, a cameraman running towards the back of an unprotected Skibidi toilet who was about to eat a cameraman. Now, we were lucky enough to flush the normal Skibidi, but right after we're hit with a giant explosion. But wait, did you see the Easter egg in the intro of the video? As the cameraman was running toward the Skibidi toilet, you can see the secret agent hiding behind the car. Now, this is one of the few times in the most recent episodes that we've seen the secret agent without a green glow around him. This positioning, though, is similar to the episode 56 when he was hiding inside of a car. In this episode, he has no green glow, and we also don't know how he got there or how he disappeared later on in the episode. Now, it is safe to assume that the secret agent that we've seen in countless episodes, like in 45, in 46, 47, 48, 52, 55, 56, 57, 58, and now in 59 is possibly the creator of the Skibidi War itself, Daboom. If he is the creator, does this mean that he is God? This is actually the most we've ever seen the secret agent in back-to-back episodes, so we might have something big coming soon for the secret agent story. It seems the closer the cameramen have gotten to winning this war, the more he appears, which might suggest he is working with the Skibidi toilets or is just a god in this universe and is looking over his children. Only time will be able to tell if he is a good god or a bad god, because recently the Skibidi toilets have gotten new technology. What if the secret agent is the one that has been giving them their technology? But of course, out of the explosion and the black smoke, we hear a brand new Skibidi toilet. This new toilet is something like we've never seen before, meaning that the new Skibidi technology that they're getting is stronger than ever. But there is something very different about this toilet that many people have missed. Did you remember back in episode 55 when we had the radioactive toxic skull Skibidi that appeared literally out of nowhere, almost like a teleport? This skull has the same style of teleportation that the TV woman has that we first saw in episode 49, where she has a black mist of smoke that appears and disappears when she teleports. You can see the same teleport smoke in episode 43 from the TV men, and even more recently in episode 57 when she teleports onto the infected Speaker Titan and then teleports away with the elite Plunderman. Now, there is a possibility now in episode 59 with this new toilet that the Skibidi toilets have teleportation technology. It is all very scary because what if they do have a TV man working for them? Is it possible there is an evil TV man? Or maybe they have a TV man captured? We won't know until future episodes. So let's go over the power level of this new toilet. With 2 lasers, 4 missiles, protective helmet gear, and even 2 steel arms, this Skibidi toilet looks a lot like the one we saw in episode 58, as he had similar weird metal claws. What makes things interesting with this toilet is he's also on tank style tracks, meaning he can move like a tank, similar to the Skull Skibidi toilet that we saw in episode 55. This brand new Skibidi toilet is also protected by upgraded helicopter Skibidis with more missiles than we've ever seen before, which means that the Skibidi scientists and engineers have been working overtime testing new ways to win the war. I truly believe there might be some scary stuff being created that the cameramen don't even know about, which could get really crazy if the cameramen also don't upgrade their technologies, as it's been a long time since the cameraman Titan has been upgraded, and we have yet to see what the TV Titan looks like since he was disabled in episode 47. But for now, as you know, the Titans right now are still the most powerful in the war, as this new Skibidi went from happy to terrified once his backup got shot down easily by the Titan Speaker's blasters. And we got to see a brand new Titan roll, which allowed the Titan to remove the Skibidi's headgear and made him vulnerable. We even got to see a brand new upgraded Skibidi with 8 missiles and one that uses jetpack technology. But as you guys know, those missiles aren't very effective against the Speaker Titan. As we saw in the last episode, there were over 20 missiles shot at our Speaker Titan, and he took 0 damage. It was almost like he was unfazed by the missiles. So of course, the Speaker Titan jumps on this brand new Skibidi plane, and we see the Camera Titan cleaning up the new Skibidi toilet by putting all his arms, blasters, into his mouth and causing a massive explosion after a nice kick in the chest. And of course, the Speaker Titan riding the new flying Skibidi straight to the ground. This episode by far was pretty explosive and awesome, as we even got a big thumbs up by the Camera Titan, meaning that we've won this episode, which the Titans look at us as the POV camera and have us turn around to see the epic reunion, which is a huge Easter egg. This episode marks the first time we've seen the Speakerman army since episode 32. That means the Speakermen have been in hiding for over 27 episodes. That's a long time. We've seen a few Speakermen in the last few episodes, like in episode 58, but before that, we only saw one Speakerman in episode 50 when the Skibidi toilets attacked the cameraman warehouse, and then in episode 57, we saw a large Speakerman get crushed by the infected Speaker Titan, and another large Speakerman got destroyed by a UFO Skibidi in episode 53. But since then, we haven't seen them in a long time. But before that, we have not seen the army come together this big at all. What makes this moment so special is the Speakermen also got upgrades, and that's one Easter egg I bet you didn't notice. If you notice closely, all the Speakermen are wearing brand new clothes. If you look at previous episodes like episode 32, you would notice that their suits were very different. These new Speakermen feel like they now have a bigger purpose than before with their epic Titan Speakermen back. You can tell this is about to be a super big win moment for the war, as this is the most we've seen the Speakermen since the Speakerman Titan got infected, which is pretty awesome to see. You also notice that the secret agent behind the car is now gone. We saw him at the start of the beginning of this episode behind the car, but now he's completely missing. Like, we have no idea how he left. Did he walk away? Did he teleport? We have no clue. But regardless, it looks like the Alliance is back to being stronger than ever, and we see that with the ending of the Titans uniting in an epic handshake moment. But all of these recent wins really leaves us wondering a few questions that we have not gotten answered yet. What happened to the Elite Plunderman after episode 57? Did the TV woman bring him back to base, and are they working to make him stronger? Like, is he in some kind of cameraman hospital right now? And what are the Skibidi toilets really up to? Do they have some crazy new mutated Skibidi toilets? Before we jump into the breakdown and analysis of episode 60, let's watch the episode together so we have a really good overview of what to expect of the breakdown. The episode starts with cameramen overlooking and hearing the Skibidi toilets talking. As you can see, this is a UFO Skibidi toilet, and he is talking to G-Man, And G-Man is a little like bothered by this, like you see the UFO's like, hey man, what the heck? He's questioning how he could let the Speaker Titan go. How could you fail so badly? And then of course, he ends up getting captured. G-Man's captured by the brother of the UFO Titan. And then they get saved by the scientist Skibidi Toilet. He's like, don't you dare challenge the leader, G-Man. I'll protect him. And boom, they fly off, right? Now, at this moment, you see G-Man's happy. He's like, thank you, scientist Skibidi. Thank you. And look at those upgrades. We're gonna go over all those upgrades. He has crazy upgrades, but guess what? There's a secret right there that you guys may not know about that just happened. We'll discuss that later in the video. It's gonna blow your mind. And then of course, this scene right here. This is something crazy we've never seen before. We were watching the POV cameraman from a TV man. That is mind-blowing. This is the first time we've ever seen the Skibidi Toilets meeting like this and talking like this, where we have such a close interaction with them because we now know what they're talking about. The closest thing to this we've ever seen was in episode 17, when G-Man was first meeting with the Toilets to discuss the future of the war, and then we saw them in the future again in episode 28, when there was a meeting of the Mafia members. Now, it seems in episode 60, there's a lot more powerful Skibidi Toilets that want the power and that want to lead the Skibidi Toilets to defeat the cameramen. As you can see in episode 60, we are somewhere in the desert, like at an airport that's been overrun by Skibidi Toilets. In the intro, we can see a destroyed plane on the runway and even see 2 different hangars in the background. What's cool about this episode is this is the first time we've ever seen the UFO Skibidi talking to G-Man. And of course, he does not look happy. You can clearly see that G-Man has some kind of sad look to his face as he's disappointed that he's failed his fellow Skibidi brother. We can confirm that this is not a very good conversation thanks to the Boom, who let us know that the UFO is actually named Astro Toilet and that the toilet is very upset and mad at G-Man for his failures. Now, at this point in episode 60, things get spicy. You can see G-Man really coming out of his toilet to yell at the Astro Toilet, and that's when the brand new Skibidi Toilet comes from behind G-Man. Now, you can clearly see that this flying toilet has 3 different arms. Now, all 3 arms have something in common. They all can put G-Man in a paralyzing trance. These new devices are detainers. These devices that connect the Skibidi's head or temple, which allows for electromagnetic current to run through them, shocking anyone inside of his grip. On one of his hands, though, he has a sword that can come out from one of the middle of the arms, which we see him spinning up to use as a blender for G-Man's head. Together, the Astro Toilets, which is assumed to be brothers, use their powers to overrun G-Man's brain, and the UFO-style Skibidi is charging his blaster or photon blaster to become the king of Skibidi Toilets. If you also look really closely to the Skibidis around G-Man, they are very scared. They don't look excited about this takeover. If these Astro Toilets or UFO Skibidis are so easily able to go ahead and overrun G-Man like this, don't you think there's gonna be a big problem within the Skibidi army? If you remember back in episode 53, the UFO Skibidi looked very different. In episode 53, his helmet almost looked like it had mind controlling abilities because he does not look the same in episode 60. Is it possible that the scientist Skibidi in previous episodes created a mind controlling device for the toilets? It was used to ensure that the strong Skibidi Toilets that he created stayed in line. From episode 60, you can clearly see that the UFO Skibidi is wearing a brand new helmet. And the Astro helmet that they're wearing is a smooth helmet to protect their heads, but not a mind-controlling device. According to the Skibidi Wiki, the name for the new Skibidi is Astro Detainer Skibidi Toilet, and is also listed as the brother of the UFO Toilet, aka Astro Assailant Toilet. It is believed that before episode 60, the Astro brothers were being mind-controlled, but due to recent failures in the Skibidi ranks, they have broken free of the mind control and are looking to become the leaders of the Skibidi Toilets and of the Skibidi War. The scientist Skibidi saves G-Man from ultimate destruction because he would have died here. He slices the detainer Skibidi's sword hand off, and as you can see from this freeze frame, the scientist Skibidi has gotten some serious upgrades, and we've got to talk about them. The upgrades we currently see on him are from the Titan armor from episode 47, which includes 2 speakers that were sliced off by the Saw Skibidi and also the front chest piece, which G-Man blew up in the battle. He's also gotten a brand new upgrade to his Skibidi voice. He sounds more like a final boss character than just a regular Skibidi toilet. But to understand the Skibidi scientist, we really have to deep dive on how much he's really upgraded since the beginning of this war. The first time we ever saw the scientist Skibidi was in episode 16, and he was just a small, normal scientist Skibidi. But when we saw him in episode 30, that's when things got really crazy, because that's when parasites were coming out of his mouth. The first time we ever saw Parasite. If you look closely, you can see his face has also changed since episode 60, where he has new glasses and has removed one of his eyes and replaced it with some kind of scanner technology. And of course, we saw him on episode 32 on top of a building when he infected the Titan Speakerman. This side-by-side comparison should show you how much the Skibidis have upgraded over time. As you guys know, in the last 10 episodes, we have seen more and more mutant Skibidis that have been absolutely massive game changers to the Skibidi toilet war. We also have reason to believe that the Skibidi toilets have teleportation technology, and it is rumored that they might have a TV man held captive to make that possible. We've seen everything from brand new blaster technology to turret defense technology that we saw in London, and even brand new jetpack technology that has massive boosters, and of course, the RPG Skibidi we recently saw that was absolutely massive but got destroyed by the Titans. If all these Skibidis came together, they possibly would have a really good chance against the Titans, because over the last 40 episodes, we've upgraded G-Man to really strong versions. And of course, the scientist Skibidi is the reason why the Speaker Titan is even upgraded to begin with. If the scientist Skibidi toilet has become the size of a Titan, then we have some serious problems in this war. There is a big possibility if the scientist is actually the size of a Titan, he may be the most powerful character in the Skibidi universe with how smart he is, and of course, with his sheer size. If the Skibidi scientist is able to upgrade G-Man and heal him, while also continuing to upgrade himself and other toilets, we're gonna be in major trouble in the Alliance. In looking at episode 60, I believe we are really close to that, because you can see a giant smile that G-Man has after the Skibidi scientist saves him, because he knows that with the scientist and G-Man together, them two are way stronger than the Astro Brothers, and maybe even stronger than the current Titans we've seen on the battlefield. But remember, we haven't seen the TV Titan in a long time, so his upgrades have to be major. But after the scientist toilet saves G-Man, we see the Astro Brothers fly off, and of course, they have very fast technology which allows them to move very quickly and teleport. But it's at this moment we get caught as the POV cameraman, and well, things don't go very good for us. But before the cameraman died, one thing people might have missed in this episode is that we got the thumbs up, meaning that this is a win for the cameraman and the Alliance. After we get destroyed for the first time ever, we are returned to another POV camera looking at a large TV man, and here is something you might have missed. Press F to pay respect. Did you hear that? You've got to play it back. Listen. Type F in the comment section. Also, in every single episode before this, when cameramen have died, the episode ended. But not in this episode. As you can see, in front of us is a large TV man and two speakermen next to him. It is possible that for the first time ever, the speakermen were being used for this meeting to listen what was being said at the meeting of G-Man and the Astro Brothers. It is also possible that even though we've only seen the secret agent a few times through multiple episodes that we've covered here in the channel, that he's actually been watching the entire battle through a TV man that he works with, and sometimes appears on the battlefield just to get the experience of the battle himself. What's crazy is the ending of this episode shows the camera Titan fisting his hands together, signaling that it is time to strike and that it is now time for the Alliance to take advantage of the civil war that is happening. Is it possible that the Astro Brothers we saw in this episode leave the Skibidi toilets and join the Alliance and help cameramen, speakermen, and TV men win? Do you think that they are strong enough to even take out G-Man and the Skibidi scientist? And how is the Astro Brother gonna fix his broken arm now that the Skibidi scientist has broken it off? There's a lot of questions to be answered, and we'll find out more in the next episode of 61. If you guys enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with a brand new video because this episode was crazy, and make sure you subscribe.